Okay, come right ahead. I didn't want to make a preference based on name ID, so you know what I'm saying? Very good. We look forward. Go right ahead.
Okay. All right. I'm here today again to talk about the Village 5 Park Playground. I wrote it out because I want to make sure I fit in that 3 minutes. On Tuesday, October 8th, the Association of Poinciana Villages had their board meeting. At that meeting, Williams Company did a feasibility study for parks. Included were plans to put a private Christian school, which they referred to as a charter school, Pleasant Hill Academy on the property, and an Olympic-style pool. Building for restroom and parking enough for school buses. This would be in conjunction with the adjacent property, which is in Polk County. This portion would house a community center and tot play area. The cost would be $1.2 million. First Service is the company that was hired by the APV board to manage Poinciana villages. This was all decided by First Services and presented to the board for approval. The APV board approved the proposal to move forward. This same property is the property the APV board approved at the August board meeting for the block grant money designated for the play equipment to be installed. Tony Iorio of AV Homes stated in August, Mrs. Brown has been working very hard to have this playground put in, so give her that location and be done. Now 2 months later, First Service has totally reneged on that agreement. The property was to be turned over to Osceola County to install the play equipment, and this must be done by 2014. This property, 10 acres, was given to the APV by Avatar for the purpose of installing the play equipment and leveling the land. It was to be turned over to Osceola County. Has that been done? Terry Johnson spoke and said that this property was not safe for children and the site F was a better location for children to walk to. He mentioned sidewalks. The F site does not have a sidewalk as well, and children would still need a crosswalk. Indeed, if the original site B is deemed unsafe, how then are they planning on a private Christian school pool tot play area? Mr. Johnson mentioned the pond being too close to the play area. The pond is not near the play area, and with the property being 10 acres, it can be moved even further away from the swale and the greenway. Also mentioned was that APV was not putting in parking because the purpose of the pocket park is to walk to the park. There's no way the majority of the residents can walk to the park. I guess I should not have assumed that the APV Public Works would level the ground and the APV would or should install a parking area. By the way, a parking area is included in their plan with the new private school. Also would like to mention that the private school is a for-profit organization, and they expect the APV to give them the land in exchange for another playground, a tot plot. First Services feels that we are getting 2 playgrounds by giving up more than 10 acres of land to this private for-profit school. Polk County will not approve charter schools, so there are investors who have gone around them and trying to push this private school for profit. They have touted scholarships as a way to pay for the children's enrollment. Further, this location is in the main road out of Village 5, and if a school were put there, the congestion would be worse than what is happening on Cypress Parkway in the morning.
And let me hang on just a second. Okay. Well, I'm not going to cut you off. We're going through a new law, and I need a question to ask my attorney to make sure I give you more time.
Okay.
In a situation like this, we have a citizen that's bringing us a factual situation that is very practical on the discussion. Can I, as a chair, or can the chair automatically extend the time? Would it be appropriate to look at the commissioner from the district to ask to extend it, or how can we extend it in this, or can I not allow that?
You can extend the time, but in other situations, then you're going to need to follow a similar process where additional facts need to be revealed, so they need a little more time. So we're using a reasonable standard. That's what the language of the state law says. So if it's reasonable to extend the time and you treat other people similarly, I think you can extend the time.
Okay. In this case, thank you. Believe me, it's not you. We're just getting into a new law and what we have to do with one. Commissioners will bring this discussion up at the end of today's meeting. Go ahead. I'd like to extend your time another 3 minutes.
Thank you.
Would that be appropriate for you? 3
Yes.
minutes? Okay,
yes.
thank you.
I was
Go
going
right
to have
ahead.
my husband sign me in, but I thought I'd finish in time.
Nope, you're fine.
Okay. All right. Let me go back. Further, this location is the main road out of Village 5, which is Walnut. And if a school were put there, the congestion would be worse than what is happening on Cypress Parkway in the morning and afternoon when school lets out. As a matter of fact, part of the reason Andrew Rivera could not be saved when he was hit by a vehicle was due to the congestion at 3 p.m. The ambulance could not get through. This would cause dire straits in the community. Country Club Road, which is in Polk County, would also be congested and many accidents would occur. Walnut Street is a one-way out of Village 5. Country Club is also a one-way out of Village 5. Commissioners, you need to come to Poinciana and see what I'm talking about. It's just horrendous what they're planning on doing because of the buses that would have to be there. Val Ramos, who was the assistant manager of the APV previously and one of the friends of the Poinciana Hospital, went to Tallahassee and testified for 4 hours. He's here today, and he's going to explain further as to what is happening with that particular site. In conclusion, Commissioners, the Polk County Commissioners just had the grand opening for the beautiful park in Village 7. Please go down and see it. It's absolutely outstanding. They would not allow the APV to build that park, and thank God they didn't, because they would never have done what the Polk County Commissioners managed to do down there. So again, please come out there and see that. I ask you, do not allow the APB board and First Services to be in charge of planning and building on this property that was supposed to be given to Osceola County to build a playground.
Thank you. Val Ramos.
Good afternoon. Val Ramos. I used to work with the Association of Poinciana Villages some 23 years or so. Basically, my biggest concern with the switching this park side is that we will be defeating the purpose of the park. The purpose of the park was to provide a playground in the area where this child was killed, and now we're going to move it away probably about 3 miles from where it actually happened. I have the map or the conceptual drawing of what they're proposing as far as the school and playground next to it. So if this playground is good next to the school, why is it not good next to where it was supposed to be? If you would like a copy, I think I have enough copies for everybody. That way you will have a visual of what they're proposing.
Sure.
Again, this is a partnership with a private company that is for profit, which I think really takes it out of context totally.
Okay. Thank you.
Mr. Chairman.
Commissioner Arrington.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. No, just to let you guys know, the Pocket Park originally planned for in Village 5 hasn't been moved to this school site. Actually, APV and I met today about them looking at trying to locate the community center / pool at that site on Walnut, and I have to agree with you. I told them we couldn't do it from an access standpoint. It would create a negative traffic flow into the community trying to get there. So we're actually in discussions with them for the community center and their addition of a swimming pool at Vance Harmon Park. Our staff is looking at an overall layout for that. So we've told them on the Osceola County side we're not interested in that location. However, that community park in Village 5 is still within the community. It's actually the site, and I'll set up a meeting with you guys in our Parks Department so you can see the site. It actually got moved more into the neighborhood.
Right, that's the way for them to move away.
I'm,
All the way on the other side.
Yes, ma'am, I understand, but the concerns from the parking lot, from the funding and aspect for that, and also just the safety concerns with being on a little busier road was a concern from our parks folks. Obviously, with insurance and everything of that nature, they wanted to make sure it was as safe as possible. But I'll set up a meeting with you guys and Terry, and so he can show you the direction we're going and how that's supposed to be moving forward.
So my question is about that private school.
Yes, ma'am, that's in Polk County, unfortunately, where they...
So what I want to know is, did they turn over the property to Osceola County that it was supposed to turn over?
Not to my knowledge, no property for that Village 5 park has actually been turned over at this time yet. Yeah, we'll set up a meeting. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Can I ask just define for me, I heard that property is in Polk County. Was it supposed to be, it wouldn't be turned over to us if it was in Polk?
Okay. There was an original site we were looking at for a Village 5 park, and now there is a charter school that is proposed. Private school, I assume, that is proposed on the Polk County side of Poinciana, and they were looking at offering us a piece on the east side of that property to try and do the community center we've spoken about, or perhaps the pool that they're looking at building as well. And
Gotcha.
It's just, we just told them today that wasn't in our interest. So.
Okay, very good. All right. Any other citizen choose to come before their commission at this time? Anybody? All right. Commissioners, let's go down with next number 2 on our presentations. We are honored today